On your skin here, on 1 inch, 1 square inch here, you have so many bacteria. And these bacteria, maybe in 1 inch, you have maybe 2 million of those little guys working there. Each one is doing his little job, okay? And they're doing their job for us. Okay, but if they don't do their job properly, I'll feel an itch. So I'll scratch. 1 scratch, and there goes 2 million bacteria. Yeah, so if you don't do your job, the earth can just scratch. Yeah, it's very easy. And maybe another species will come and do it better. Maybe another race will come and do it better. We're not the first race here. There are other root races that were on Earth. So if we don't do our job, a kick and somebody else comes in, you know. Yeah, it is like that. If you don't do your role, somebody has to do it. The universe is not something that you can go and say, please give me another chance, or I want this, or I want... No, it's laws, abstract laws. It's like you can't feel an itch in your hand like that, and you want to scratch, and then you hear a voice, please give me another chance. You know, I'm itching. So it's like the universe is like that. You don't get another chance. See, now we know, some of you tell me, the golden age is coming. Okay, the golden age is coming, very well. That means that instead of having sacred power spots on Earth, sacred times in the sky, we will enter into an age where the BG3 or the spiritual energy will be all over our atmosphere. So the Earth will be entering in a sort of a golden age. But there's a big difference, that it is up there in the atmosphere. It will not come down and knock on your door. Why should it? You think a golden age will just come down and correct everything for you, knock on your door? No. You have to do something to pull it into your heart. Then we will enter into a golden age. Otherwise, we will end up completely, there will be global life extinction through this electromagnetic radiation and electrosmog and all that, and it will be bye-bye. So what we said before is the spiritual way, the proper spiritual way, the way I'm explaining, is the way of excellence. Avoidable? It's not avoidable. You don't have a choice, so you'd better do your job. Now, I'll just go quickly because time has gone out. I have here an important concept here, bringing excellence into action. Now, we all live, we're very happy that we're living in an age. We're looking for democracy, we're looking for freedom, freedom of thought, freedom of speech, freedom of this, freedom of that. The word freedom seems to be, you know, something that's everything. I want freedom to do anything, whatever comes in your mind, you want freedom to do it. Okay, very nice. Now, if you want to be free, that means I want to think of something, but I want to express my opinion. You should let me express my opinion. That is freedom. Whatever I think, I should be able to express. Okay, well, let's look at that. Here, to express my opinion, I always have a point of view. There's nothing to express if I don't have a point of view. So I made a small diagram like that, where these would be 3 entities, 3 circles that are exactly the same. Each one has the 7 colors on it like that, okay? Now, this is my point of view. I look at this circle, I see green. I look at this circle, I see red. And this one, I see indigo. So for me, this is the green circle, this is the red circle, this is the indigo circle. So according to my point of view, I've already labeled them. Then my relationship, maybe I like the green, I hate the red, and I'm indifferent to the indigo. So I've already made judgment. You know, you think, I'm free. I mean, if I tell you I don't like this, I don't like that, I'm free. But what you don't know, that Each one has all the colors anyhow. You're just looking at small part. When you have the right to have a point of view and express it, it's exactly like somebody in a jail cell who wants to keep shouting as much as he wants. Okay, let him shout. So you're a prisoner of, when you make judgment, you're a prisoner of point of view. Move out of your point of view. But do I move haphazardly like that? No. How do I really see everything? I have to center my movement to get this balancing energy into my action to achieve excellence. So when I open my heart, when I get this balancing energy into my system, I move according to certain harmonizing, balancing, geometrical laws of motion. And so here, for example, is the circular law of motion. So I find myself going in certain here, like this, like this, like this, like this, and then I've seen the totality of the picture, and then I've seen that my freedom to judge here is useless, because I would have been telling everybody nonsense, because I've been telling everybody that this is green and it's not. So you see, so freedom is not just, I have a point of view, let me express my point of view, I want this. This is not freedom, this is creating a lot of problems all over the world. The freedom of speech today is the freedom of saying nonsense. Yes, move according to the divine laws and be a spokesman for nature. And then the word that comes out of your mouth will be a word of excellence. When people do that, in ancient Egypt, they performed all feats that we call magic today, but they were a higher science. They performed them by the power of the word. Now, why doesn't my word do anything? You know, instead of this, next picture, last picture, nothing is happening. Why is nothing happening? Yeah, I mean, Moses parted the Red Sea and I can just move a picture. Why? Yeah, because you are here, standing in your point of view, so your words are empty. Your words get power only if you infuse them with the laws of nature, and then the words get the power of nature, get the wisdom of nature, and actually, when you say a word of power, you're a spokesman for that higher power. And that higher power will make things work. So they used to call it in ancient Egypt, the magic words were hekau. The word hekau means magic words. And a magic word, whenever you said the magic word, you could do things with words. Today, and this would be, okay, I accept that you are free to say whatever you want, if you can stop the hurricane, if you can stop the, say a word and stop whatever the earthquake. If you do that, say a word, then I respect you are free to say what you want. Yeah, because you wouldn't be speaking. It's not you who would be speaking, it's somebody else. And that is what real freedom is. In BioGeometry, and that's in all religions of the world. Remember, a ritual is abstract. There are many types of ritual. Ritual is just how do I get a higher wisdom into my action to achieve excellence. There is nothing in whatever you want but excellence. Excellence is the beginning and ending of everything. So I'm just showing here, I have, normally we have earth radiation coming out of the earth, like grid lines like that. They result from the motion of electromagnetic lines, and the electromagnetic lines would create not only torsion wave, but different forms of compression waves around them, and you get another let's say, grid of compression waves all over the Earth, because you have a grid of electromagnetic, you have a grid of compression. We call that Earth radiation. And the crossings can cause this. When you have a negative crossing, one is positive, one is negative. The negative one will cause cancers, will cause things like that in the body. So in a normal apartment, you would have crossings like that. You see, or crossings like that. See how many lines in an apartment? Now, when those crossings meet, see what they do to a tree. The tree gets all those tumors. If you were sleeping on those crossings, you would get all those tumors. The farmers in 1920 told the medical people, if you want to know the cause of cancer, ask us. We know it's earth radiation, because from the trees and all that, we know how to avoid it. Now, one important thing is when your word is not abiding to a certain level of excellence, you will create an amplification of the grid lines. So I'll give you an example. If you put an emitter, electromagnetic emitter, somewhere in any room in this floor out there, and you sleep here on a bed in this corner, by tomorrow night maybe, you could measure, in Germany they call that Schlange, that means snake. You could go and see the disturbance going out in the corridor like a snake, as if it knows where you are. It seeks you like that until it hits your bed, the disturbance. So what's this? I'm away from the electromagnetic radiation, and as far as I know, the compression waves are not here. So how come there's a snake following me? There is a relationship between electromagnetic radiation and morals. They're completely linked. If you say a lie, your body radiates the same disease-causing energy that it would radiate if subjected to an electromagnetic radiation. So imagine you're afraid to put your cell phone in your pocket like that, and with every lie you're doing, and then, okay, you say, no, I'm a truthful man, I never lie. Okay, but what about the collective lies? What about the collective lies that are stronger than us? So there is no way to deal with all that. The only way to deal with all that is get this balancing energy into our system to help us achieve an excellence of solving those problems, because those problems are unsolvable. So you might think, is that spirituality? We thought you were going to speak about something spiritual, and you're speaking about balance and all that. But this is the true way that ancient civilization looked at spirituality, as the total harmony with the universe. You see, if you're in total harmony with the universe, and I'm in total harmony with the universe, I don't care how you explain it or how I explain it, because we're in harmony with the universe anyhow. See? But if you're not in harmony and I'm not in harmony, then my explanation is better than yours, your explanation is better than mine, yeah, because we're both nothing. We're both doing the wrong thing. So here, this is a carpet that protects from earth radiation, and this is the design language of biogeometry. The design language of biogeometry is to recreate the doorway so that instead of this object just radiating different qualities of energy, no, the object recreates the doorway so that this energy flows in. Because in ancient times, the easiest way to recreate it would be to go on a sacred power spot and build my temple there. So, and then radiate it from there along roads, along things. In biogeometry, we've developed a bit further, saying I can create an object that creates its own power spots. see, so that it can be used anywhere. I'm just showing you here, it's as old as humanity, this thing. You see, these are menhirs, dolmens, you know those two shapes. You find them on ancient sacred power spots. Sometimes the dolmen here, this one is, the stone is 20 tons and 20 tons, and maybe this one is 30 tons. So imagine who would go through putting it that way, and they're all facing between south and southeast all over the world. Somebody knew exactly the direction which they would take the energies and radiate them. And then when they had them in here like that, they would know to take the stone with a certain density so that it resonates with this energy, amplifies it, and radiates it. So you see, so it was all a matter of this energy, how to acquire it and put it in my activity. So even the caveman, even the animal was seeking excellence through ritual connecting to this energy. So here you see, for example, in Egypt, the same sacred power spot has an ancient pharaonic temple, has a church and the mosque, all of them on the same, because this was a sacred spot for the community. You change religions, whatever you want. Change. My sacred spot is still my sacred spot. The doorway is the doorway, the light is the light. So whatever you change, you can preach whatever you want. I want it here on my sacred power spot, because if you don't put it here, it has no life in it. So if somebody comes, a new religion now, and we propagate and we want to build a new edifice for this religion, and you say we'll put it there on this hill so everybody sees it, or there or there. No, it has to come in our power spot, because otherwise it's dead. It's not alive. So that's why you end up with things like this. You see, buildings, as Robert showed you, were then aligned on those lines, propagated from the power spots. So every building, you see, every details of the building were on certain grid lines infused with this energy. And we saw this one, but we'll go into cities. For example, that is Zurich. And in Zurich, in Switzerland, these are the spiritual lines coming, and all the churches are put in the ancient power spots here. So architecture was actually taking centers of light, power spots. And then a city was like a work of initiation, a sacred ritual. Designing a city was a sacred ritual, like designing a building. So you designed it to achieve at the end prosperity for your nation. So how was the design made? You choose a power spot, and then you put on this power spot maybe your temple, and choose another power spot, and maybe on the other power spot you put the courthouse or the ruler's house or whatever. And then once you put it on that, you join both of them, and usually you will find, before you join them, you will find a line, a connecting line in nature already joining them. So this becomes a path, and this becomes your first main avenue. Then the second power spot, and the second avenue, third. So you're actually planning a city is distributing the light into every activity. Actually, so planning a city is the first step towards producing excellence in all actions and activities of the people living in that city. So for you, as a planner, as an architect, this was a sacred thing, a very important thing, because you were really bringing this actual powers of nature, this divinity, into you're distributing the light. And then from this city to the other city, which also has the power spots, from this temple to the other one, there are connections too. So these become pilgrimage roads. And to show you the importance of that, in the Roman Empire, when they wanted to expand the Roman Empire, what do? They go on those spiritual lines and build the roads of the Roman Empire, so that when they go to the other areas and they send the Roman army to fight, you know, the Roman soldier is wearing an armor and is wearing so much, he's wearing heavy things. And then he might go to areas where there are barbarians, there's something very light in weight. So if he walked 500 kilometers by the time he got there with all that armor, I mean, he doesn't need somebody to chop his head off. Yeah, it's already done. So when they walked on those lines, they were charged with this energy. So they reached their goal and they are in full power. So imagine this is used, and it also puts a certain spiritual cause, a higher cause, to their fight or something like that. So this, or today, for example, if you go to many places, we still have that in Egypt, that many people from the rural areas, when they travel and they go from one place to the other, they never go on a straight line. They go from this area, they go, let's say, to the church or to the mosque, or I don't know what. Then they walk, and then they walk on a pilgrimage road, and maybe where they want to go there, but they go on a pilgrimage road on this direction, reach this other spot, maybe it's a church, maybe it's a pharaonic temple. From there, they take another road like that. So it might go in a zigzag like that to go to their journey, but they're going, it's a habit from this seer to this seer, because there are mostly seers buried in those places and all that. So they move from one to the other, from one to the other, moving in this thing. So what we would like to do is bring an awareness of everybody to the spiritual power spots in your area. Because in your system, you have the chakras in your body, the energy centers in your body. Those energy centers, imagine this to be a micro system, and nature around you is the macro system. So the power spots in your area are in direct resonance to the power spots of your body. Now, some of them are in relation to the heart, some of them in relationship to the throat, but all those places are in resonance with certain places of your body. First of all, your awareness of that resonance will bring healing to all those centers in your own body. Your neglecting of those power spots or disruption of their energy will bring problems in some of your energy centers. So the first thing to do is be aware that me and the power spots in the area, this is where we connect. This is the doorway to connect. Now, so I start looking at the power spots, studying their history, who lived there or what happened there, and something like that. And then maybe I go, it doesn't have to be a church or a temple, it could be part in a forest. I go and look, are the trees here different than there? I start observing, is the water here? You find if there is water, it will be fresh. There'll be never any problem that water. You start observing when you see birds flying and they come over the power spot, they won't fly through. They'll come, they'll make a circle like that, and they continue through. It's like an act, like a prayer, getting the energy of the spot, because the energy of the power spot comes up like that. So the birds know it. So start observing the power spots in your area. So you become one with the earth just by observation. And then we can start thinking of connecting them. But what I will do here in Asheville, I spoke with Robert about this. We are going to take a Google map of Asheville and put as many power spots, we'll detect as many power spots as possible on that map. And all those who are interested, they can give their email to Robert, and once that map is ready, it can be sent to you, and then you can look, for example, where is the nearest power spot there? I go and observe and some. And one thing you will know, if you have a problem in your body, you go on the power spot and there's a healing effect on it anyhow. So just your awareness of this power spot, getting friendly with the power spot, knowing it and all that, even when you're sitting at home now, it is affecting you at a distance. So reviving the power spots, the doorways in your area is already the beginning of your mission of propagating this energy and actually of your benefits, health benefits, mental benefits, emotional benefits, and all that. So I think I took too much time now. I went overboard. So you know, time is not my strong point. Yeah. So, well, I thank you all for being here tonight. And I thank Robert for the nice introduction, although I owe him so much money now. But it's been an honor and a pleasure being with you tonight. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you. To your health.